In this video, we will cover how to implement Mixpanel by directly sending data to our ingestion API. APIs allow you to send data directly to Mixpanel without any sort of intermediary layer. Our ingestion API has a few different endpoints depending on whether you are sending us event data or user data. The pros of sending data directly to our APIs is that your team will have full control and customizability of exactly what data to send and when to send it, and you can also quickly fix any implementation mistakes. The cons of implementing directly via our APIs is that the implementation can be a bit more complex, as your team will have to manually create and place each API call to track data, requiring higher dev resources than implementing via our SDKs. To send event data to Mixpanel via our ingestion API, you should utilize the import endpoint. The first step in using the import endpoint is to authenticate your request. You can authenticate utilizing either a service account or your project's API token, which can be found on your project settings page in the Mixpanel UI. You must also pass your project ID in the URL of the API request. When passing event data to Mixpanel, there are a few high-level requirements that you must follow for the event to be accepted. The event data must be in proper JSON. Each event must contain an event name, a Unix timestamp, the distinct ID of the user who triggered the event, and an insert ID, which is a unique identifier attached to each unique event. You can read the rest of the limitations in the ingestion API documentation. Let's build a sample request together. First, I must authenticate this request by either utilizing a service account or my project token. For the purposes of this video, I am utilizing my project token grabbed from the project settings page in the Mixpanel UI, but you can also create a service account from this very same page to utilize to send data to Mixpanel. Then I must choose whether I want my data to be located on US servers or if I want it to be part of EU residency and I want my data located in EU servers. From there, I will go down to the API request builder, and there are a few required fields here that you must fill out. So first, let me grab my project ID, which again, I can grab from my project settings page right here. Now I'm going to enter an event name, as an event name is a required field when sending an event through the API to Mixpanel. I can open the properties object to add extra information. Time is a required field, so I'm going to pass a Unix timestamp into there. Distinct ID is another required field, which is the identifier for the user who triggered the event. Next, I must put an insert ID, which again is the unique identifier for each event in Mixpanel. And from there, I can add fields to add extra properties that I want to attach to my events. On the right here, you can see a curl request, which is generated by the README here. If I blow this up to make this easier to see, you can see the entire request here, where you see that I am passing an event name, a time property, a distinct ID property, and an insert ID property. Now, if I click try it here, if you get a 200 response, that means the request was successful, status okay. Now let's go into my project and see if this event is there. Here is the event I just sent via the API request. You can also pass user data to Mixpanel via the engage endpoint of the ingestion API. The engage endpoint allows you to create new profiles, update existing profiles, or delete existing profiles. It also gives you the ability to set, update, or delete a single property on any profiles in your project. Much like sending event data in, user properties must be passed in as proper JSON. Unlike for events, the only authentication needed to pass user updates is your project API token. If you have any questions, check out our docs, leave a comment, or join our Slack community. Thanks for watching.